Hi, this is Max. Happy New Year's to everyone. I am back, and this time I am going to go ahead and take down this 7-foot tall ugly dude, and in the process take down Amelia and get her car. Now the storyline is pretty much each tier you're going in there, and the particular tier's boss, which is Amelia for T3, will work with you and try to take down that hay. Bottom line is this: if you want to beat Tempest 1, you must have a car that can run faster than 10 seconds in the quarter mile. I happen to have a RS5 coupe with no stars, built mostly off of parts I won from the Holiday Cup. If you recall, it fast-tracked me through the T3 challenges when I started this account, and allowed me to kind of get to where I am now quickly. This same car, which has pretty much most of the stage 6 and a decent amount of fusion, runs about 9.4 in the quarter mile, and therefore is completely ready to take down Amelia and ultimately the Pinks race. What I'm going to do is run each of these races, as I also discuss a little bit about other things relating to the Tempest. I didn't make a video for this, but one of the first things you do for Tempest is you have to do the elite licensing. One of the things you probably saw right at the beginning of the video is that Tate tells you can't use the elite cars once you make them elite. So when you first do the licensing, you have to think ahead about which car you want to keep and use for the actual challenge. So you don't want to end up using your best car for the elite license, and then you come here and you go, oh, duh, I don't have a car. Well, that's kind of how this is set up. It's meant to kind of tease you into using a good car for your elite license, and then you're stuck having to build a new car when it comes to actually playing. You don't want to do that. What the better option is you actually build a car just enough to beat the elite license challenges. And for T1 elite license, Tempest 1 elite license, it's quite easy. A barely built RS5 I managed to get from Keys easily beat the license. So the license challenges are not hard. They tell you up front what you have to run. You just build a car just enough to get through that. And fortunately for me, I had for T2 I had KJ's FRS built because I used it for my T2 boss challenges, and therefore that car easily beat the needed T2 license. And Shax's car, which I just won, with a little bit of tweaking and no fusions added, was able to take down the T5 time trial. So those two cars made two of my time trials easily. T3 was not a difficult trial. Again, I used a star car I managed to pull, the same exact RS5 that I have here, but it had actually 2 stars. But that car, with just some upgrades to stage 5 and a little bit of fusion, easily beat that time trial. T1, I have a Golf GTI with star, which I built up, not quite max, but it's pretty built up. And I had a stock Hyundai Veloster. I used the Veloster for the T1 Elite because, quite frankly, I don't want to use my GTI. That car, once fully built, will be good enough to make it through all the Tempest events, and I definitely want to save it for that and not lock it out as a elite car. Now then, the elite challenge, as I mentioned in the last video, when you beat a elite license challenge and you make the car elite, it gives you a 10% bonus to RP gain. Many people will tell you, as you get into more advanced gaming with this game, that extra 10% is quite important. You want to potentially use cars that you're going to end up using in live as your elite car. What makes a good car in live doesn't necessarily make it good for events. So if you have a lot of cars by this point, and I doubt you will, at level 50 and having played only about a month, you're probably not likely to have a whole lot of cars to pick from. I would say for the first Tempest, for the elite license, just build whatever car that you don't normally use to win against the bosses and focus on making them elite for the first event. Maybe when you get to Tempest 2, you'll have some nice T5 cars and other better high-end cars from each tier to make elite that you can ultimately use in the live racing. But for now, it's more important that you don't accidentally use your best car of each tier that you already have, so it delays your progress through the Tempest. Because if your most built car that you used to take down Shacks is made the elite, you're now stuck spending another 6 million plus getting fusions to try to get another T5 car ready for taking down Larry. That's quite a bit of work and will delay you quite a while. And if you get impatient, and most do, you may end up trying to muddle through the Tempest too quickly and end up losing. Now, what we just did there is a new thing that's introduced as part of the Tempest. It's called a 0 to 100 challenge. Basically, you have a target time that you have to beat for 0 to 100. For Tempest 1, it's pretty straightforward since you can use a maxed car for the event. You just blow through it. Whatever car can beat the target time will be good enough. Even the RS5, which isn't the best car for 0 to 60 to 0 to 100, but not the worst, is able to beat it pretty easily. If you're struggling with this, I can tell you right now that you probably don't have enough fusions in your car and you probably didn't upgrade enough. The other thing to not do is lock in a car for Tempest that you cannot easily upgrade. Here's why. When you lock in the car, that's the car you have to make it through the entire event with. I.e., my RSS5 has to make it through this whole event. So far, it's easy, and I am just breathing through it. That's why I'm just kind of rambling while playing through this. But what I'm trying to explain as well is that when you're going through this event, if you picked, say, a Mercedes or a Porsche or something that is T3, okay, that might be the best car in its class once fully built, you may find yourself stuck halfway through Tempest because you can't get fusions and you can't get stage 6 parts. Why do that to yourself? Beating the game is beating the game. It doesn't matter if you beat it with a BMW or a Porsche, you're still beating it. Especially for Tempest 1, where all you need to do is have a basically maxed out, close to maxed out car that could beat the times. There's no reason for you to pick and lock in a car that just is hard to get parts with. Even if you have that nice BMW M3 GT-R, which, you know, is a 4-star and is a great car, the problem is that you are not going to be able to get stage 3 for it. I mean, stage 6 for it easily. Why waste the time? Instead, you're better off simply using a car that you can get parts for. And what are those cars? Those cars are actually pretty easy to find. You go to dealership and you browse through your tier for the dealership, and whichever car you can buy with in-game money, silver, is the car that you would want to focus on. Any one of these would be easy to build. For T3, that is the BMW M4, that's the Audi RS5, and I might be missing another one, but I think there are 2 or 3 cars you could buy with money in T3, tier 3, and those are the cars you probably want to focus on. You don't want to go and get yourself a car that you just can't get fusions for, because you're going to be stuck here for a while and frustrated and irritated with the game while you're pulling keys desperately to get those fusions and you're getting crap or duplicates or whatever. So, again, it's not about having the fastest car in the tier for beating Tempest. It's all about having the car that you could build the fastest to fill out the fusions and the S6. Now that I've tried to drive that into your head, let's go back and take a look at what's going on here with the actual game. The progression with Tempest 1 is pretty straightforward. There's nothing fancy here. Your car doesn't have to be tweaked. Once it's set to run better than what these individual challenges can run, you're basically good to go. My car is pretty built from the Holiday Cup. It's running 9.4s. So there's no reason for me to mess with it at all. I just kind of drive and blow through each of the events quickly. One thing about this T3 event, I would advise that anyone who takes this on to be very careful to actually try to win Amelia's M4. It is one of the best boss cars to win in the game for T3, certainly. You know, Ashley's BMW is not very useful. Amelia's is quite useful. And ultimately, for Tempest 2, you'll get another T3 car, but I would argue that Amelia's M4 is probably the best car to have for T3. It can be used for the next Tempest if it's built. It can be maxed out relatively quickly because you can buy and strip M4s to get the parts. A great boss car to have. You certainly don't want to rush through this and then lose out on getting it. So, at this point, I'm about a third of the way through here with Tempest 1 T3, and as you can see, it's basically an easy cruise through everything. Once in a while, some dialogue pops up. Now, if you notice, she's making a good point here. You need plenty of Evo to get the job done. T3, plenty of Evo isn't necessarily all that much reflected on the charts, but you don't get Evos without fusions. Gotta have them fusions. Gotta have, if you don't have the fusions, you gotta have stage 6s, which is actually harder to come by. You know, a full stage 5 car with 1 or 2 stage 6 and full fusion will be actually just as fast, if not faster. So, gotta have those fusions. Buy and strip cars for fusions. Tune your car to the best Evo you can, and, you know, as long as the target time is reached, you're good to go. 9.503. See, I'm not even driving that well. And she ran a 10.5. No biggie. I only wish that these rewards were better. Right now I'm getting some crappy rewards. Subaru, Dodge. I mean, Dodge is okay. For T4, it could come in handy. If you decide to buy a Dodge Viper, I would go against that. Oh, my GTI arrived. I've been buying and stripping GTIs because I want to ultimately max that 1-star GTI I finally managed to pull from Bronze Key. The problem with the stripping technique is that, you know, you buy a car, you strip it, you get, for T1, only 2 fusions from a dealer car, and it's usually not the 2 you want. Okay, this becomes more and more pronounced issue as you get close to maxing out the car. Some people spend literally months waiting for that final fusion for that car, if not a year. I actually saw one guy post on Facebook. He waited a year for one fusion for one particular car. It's mind-boggling. But if you're buying and stripping cars, get used to the idea that you're going to strip far more cars than you'll ever use all the fusions for. You're going to have a lot of duplicates. So cars like the VW, Volkswagen, there's just not that many in the game. You got one in Tier 1, one in Tier 2. So at least the overflow can go to your Tier 2 car if you happen to pull a Scirocco, which I did. Now, that Scirocco could be partially built up and make a nice, possible elite license car for when I get to the next Tempest event. So that's how you have to think. You want to, you know, maximize whatever you gain in this game, because it's not very good about giving you stuff. It's good at frustrating you. Most people get kind of pissed off at it after a while because of that. Duplicates, duplicates, duplicates. You get a lot of duplicates. You never seem to get that one thing you need. Let's see what the reward is this time. BMW door. All right, that's useful. I'm going to definitely like that one. Next one's 5 gold. Now, something else to note. It takes 2 gas pips per race here. That 25 race will cost you 50 gas pips. As you probably can see, that you can have up to 30 with the purple gas. So that's 20 more after that. If you want to kind of make it through this event all in one shot, okay, so 50 pips will definitely cost you some gold. The game gives you 5 here, 5 there, but it costs 20 gold for 10 pips. So, yeah, you're going to lose some gold here if you want to one-shot this without watching gas videos. Or you can just, in between runs, when you get to the point where the gas video pops up, watch them and save yourself the gold, because they're certainly not rewarding you a whole lot. Okay, 4.377, 0 to 100 seems to be holding its own as far as these challenges are going. Again, these challenges are really not that hard in this game. It's pretty straightforward. All right, back to Ate. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who writes the storyline for this, but I have to say they're not very inspired. Not a big deal. I mean, we're not here to read all the storyline. We're just here to race and get stuff, right? This game is all about racing and getting stuff. Most people play the game because, quite honestly, It has great graphics, and if you get some nice cars, you can just kind of do your own miniature car show in your garage, which is nice. It's cars that you sometimes don't even see in real life, and it's in great high contrast detail. You can open the doors, you can open the hood. That's why I really love this game, is collecting the cars, looking at them, because the game is repetitive. The playing is not that challenging, but you feel good when your keys finally pull something nice, or you finally get a nice car in the garage that you can kind of, drool over because you don't have a chance in hell of owning it in real life. But this is what makes the game. The graphics is phenomenal. And the gameplay is not by any means bad. I mean, the tuning in this game really makes the game too. I really enjoy it. And you will be tuning Amelia's car when you get her boss car in your garage. It ultimately runs 8.2s, which is very good. It's the third fastest in its tier because it's now surpassed by the Porsche Cayman and the ACS BMW M2, which just came out recently as a prestige car. So those two cars will surpass it, but certainly for any new player, anybody who's still growing, your chances of pulling the Porsche and ACS isn't that great, and this is a guaranteed car you can get. So why not be patient, build it right, and get the car? I don't understand why people rush through this event. If your car's not ready, it's not ready. You know the target time. You just got to keep building your car, make sure it's ready before you keep going. The key is not taking on the last race before you're ready, because if you do it, you don't win the car, you're stuck with nothing. Okay, you don't get any car. And yeah, you beat Tempest too. Look at the crappy rewards. I mean, it's just not worth it. The whole goal of the Tempest is to get that boss car. That's why you're racing this event. That's why you're spending 50 gas or whatever gold if you're impatient to try to get there. Okay, the individual rewards are so-so. I mean, here and there, a nice fusion, a little gold, some money. $3,000 is the joke. Okay, in T5, you make like 12 to 15,000 if you play your cards right with just regulation. You got to do a lot of perfect shifts to get 15,000 though. But you can get 12,000 guaranteed. So why would I grind through 25 of these races for a bunch of fusions I can't really use yet and get nothing at the end? No, I want the car. That's why I'm here. And I'm going to get this car because my car is ready. Again, people ask this question every single time on Facebook. What's the best car? What's the best car? What's the best car? There is no best car. The best car is the car that you can build to beat the time. And the best car, in my opinion, always is the car that you can buy from the dealership and strip for parts. It reduces your wait time. If you get a nice Porsche, and you will, okay, let's take that T3 Porsche Cayman, for example. You cannot get Porsche Fusions without getting them from keys. Unless you're earning and buying keys like mad, you may get a Porsche Fusion here and there every few pulls out of those keys. Don't forget, we have a lot of makes now in this game, and those keys are random. So think about 3 chances to get a fusion per 100 bronze keys you pull. Okay, and your typical car needs 90 some fusions. So how many keys is that? Simple math, right? So it's going to take a while if it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. I, for one, am here to kind of show the guys that are trying to play for free some easy tricks, not to tell you go and spend more money. Of course, Natural Motion would love it if you spend more money, and I did it at one point. I spent plenty of money. I didn't get exactly what I was hoping for the money because the keys are kind of like a lotto system. It's random, it's based on luck, and if you're looking for something specific, we all know the more we look for something, we can get it, right? So you can play smart, or you can just play just to play. And most of us play just to play to have fun. But at some point, playing smart will make you less frustrated. When you start to realize how many of these cars you have to strip just to fill out one car's fusions, you start to understand that to fill out the same car with the same number of fusions using keys is a long-term process. Rather than doing that to yourself and, trying to progress quickly do the smart thing and just build a car that you can get parts from the dealership. It's easy to earn money in the game. Buy cars, strip them, build a car up. My other piece of advice at this point is that this no-star car has limited potential in the end. Yes, I built it up pretty far because at the time I did it, I didn't have a starred car. I was stuck. Plus, Donna's Holiday Cup requires this particular car, and it rewarded you with 6 or 7 stage 6s. Just because of that is why I went ahead and built a no-star car. My focus always is, of course, try to use a starred car rather than a no-star car if you're going to invest fusions and invest money into building it. Because once you build it up to this level, and if you want to try to strip it, it's going to cost you thousands of gold and money to get the parts back off. At this point, to strip this RS5 would cost me over 3,000 gold. 3,000 gold takes a little while to earn, and it costs quite a bit if you want to buy it. So, not something to easily waste. But it's a trade-off, right? You kind of have to think. I made it through T3 for the first boss, took her car, Kurt's, and now I'm blowing through Tempest 1 with the same car. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Even if it's a no-star car, it's not a crappy car at the moment. It's fine for what I'm using it for. So yeah, build a no-star car if that's your only choice. But if possible, build a star car. But just because you have a star car you can build doesn't mean you should do it. Simply because a star car T3, for example, the Corvette, you can build it, certainly. But Chevy Fusions don't come that easily. And there's no Chevy you can buy without gold. Okay, you can't buy it in a dealership for money. If you're just loaded with gold, of course, it's not a big deal. You can buy Chevy Corvettes and strip them and get the parts. On the average, you need probably 10, 15 cars at least. Okay, I believe for T3, it's something like 400 or 600 gold a car, if not more. So 600 times 10 is 6,000 gold, times 5 more is 9,000, 10,000 gold. 10,000 gold, I think it's like $100 in cost to buy. You got to think, do you really, really want to do that? We just got a nice stage 6 there, transmission. So that's a nice reward. That'll help you build the BMW when you get to it, but also we're almost at the end here. So we're going to get another stage 6. Here's where you got to cross your fingers, because knowing how this game works, there's a very realistic chance that you're going to get the same stage 6 that you just got. And that's kind of a kick in the nuts. I hate that. But hopefully not. Most likely it won't be. I'm keeping my fingers crossed here. We can do whatever dance or rain dance or whatever, throw the salt over the shoulders. Whatever you got to do, pray that you don't get the same one. Because there's just not that many chances to get stage 6s in this game. There are certain trials. You can pull keys. So a duplicate's a real disappointment when you get one. Alright, let's see what we got. Don't give me a duplicate, please. No duplicate. No duplicate. Anything but a duplicate. Engine. Good. Now, it's good that I got 2 S6s for the car. Now, as soon as I get Amelia's boss car, if I built it up, I can put those stage 6s on. Of course, it also means you already have 2 stage 6s that any stripped AM4 can give you duplicates for. So, yeah. But still, it's a good feeling not to get 2 of the same ones going through the same event. That really does suck. And there were people complaining, even for the Holiday Cup, there were just duplicate after duplicate for the stage 6. That sucked. Okay, I was lucky I didn't get any duplicates. That's why my car's where it is. But yeah, I can totally understand if you got 5 chances at stage 6 and you got 3 of the same ones, you're gonna be kind of pissed off. I would be. So final race is only 1 gold key. These gold keys, man, they just come so slowly and difficult to get. You save a month for 10 gold keys, and then you pull it, and you get a 3-star T4. Right now, I would take a 3-star T4 because I need one. But for people who's been playing for a while, who saves up these gold keys, they're agonizingly slow to get 10. You finally get it, and then you get a T4 GTR. You kind of feel like you got cheated. People who buy keys feel even more cheated when they get that. So don't get too excited about the gold keys. I think silver keys pulling them during PC Cups, it's probably your best shot at getting nice cars anyway. Unless, of course, you're buying tons of gold keys. And, you know, there are guys out there that buys probably hundreds of gold keys to pull. They can get some nice cars, but a little bit of luck there still. You know, you can pull 10, 20 gold key pulls and get nothing but standard 3-star cars. Okay, so the next one's T1. We already see that. T1's I'm ready for as well. My actual problem right now is T4 because I don't have a car for it. I used my Z06 for the Elite trial because it's a car I also use in live, but I wouldn't want to build that Z06 anymore, counting on it being ready for the Tempest 1 trials, Tempest 1 event. So I just go ahead and use it as the Elite, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed I'll pull some kind of T4, hopefully a GTR or an Aston Martin before I get there, which, you know, could happen or it could not happen, and I'll have to end up buying one from the dealership. I'm hoping not. It's expensive proposition to build a T4 or T5, no star, and then having to ultimately try to strip it. So the goal is to maybe be patient and just wait it out. Here we go, taking down Amelia for her car. And it should be a no-brainer because my car is substantially faster than what she is supposed to run. So the internet says she runs 9.97. In my case, she ran a 10.014. So anything in the 9.9 and faster range, you can definitely win her car. And that's what you want to do. You want to set yourself up to take the car without too much headache. Now that we're here, we get her car. Let's see if it delivers. Click the button. Oh, back to the map. What happened there? What's going on here? That was my car. Wait, it's showing up on the top. Okay. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Let me go check my garage. I need to see if I got the car. It's showing on the top there, so I probably have it, but it didn't show the delivery video at all. These glitches happen. So, oh, there it is. Whew. Wow. Yeah, here we go. So Amelia's LBM4 is now in the garage. Beautiful car. Something I can totally see owning in real life and loving it. Even a standard M4 is an awesome car to own in real life. Very nice car. Plenty of, you see the carbon fiber roof there with the Liberty Walk kit. So that concludes the T3 Tempest Challenge. Not very difficult when your car's ready. So I hope you will have as easy a time as well.